Carnival. Oh, there we go.
There
And
we go.
so I'm going to go ahead and I will go ahead and share my screen so that we can get started. Let me make sure you guys can see it first. So Danny, you will be my eyes and make sure that you guys can see my
Yes,
screen. Yes?
we
All right.
can.
We
Absolutely.
are
So
we are
you're
a go.
good.
So I think in the meantime, while I start this, I see some people are coming in, so I think we have to admit them. So some of them are going to be coming in. But once again, good evening, everyone, and thank you again for being here with me this evening. Hopefully, some of you have your cocktails, your wine, your drink. I didn't come as prepared, so I have some water here. But next time, I'm going to have either a martini or I'm going to have an old fashioned, which are my drinks of choices. So, but for
And
those of you
I'm
that don't
unlike Brisma. I did come prepared with my wine tonight.
Yes, I told you he came prepared. He already knew the assignment. I have to come a little bit more prepared next time, but it's okay because I'm here to make sure that you guys know what's going on with Carnival. As Danny mentioned, I think he said it's been since you said it yourself, the big C word, the big P word, that there's been any kind of event like this. And so I'm here to talk to you about Carnival. I am the business development manager with Carnival Cruise Line, and that just basically means that I know a lot about Carnival, and I'm here to tell you about what's going on, especially in the last couple of years. Where we had a couple years there, we weren't really able to travel, and of course, I'm doing this for you guys know as nationwide cruises and vacations. And so let's get started. First and foremost, for those of you that maybe are familiar with Carnival, you probably have heard of the name. Hopefully, you've been on a Carnival cruise. And for those of you that haven't been on a Carnival cruise, you may know that we are the world's most popular cruise line. And the reason we are the world's most popular cruise line is because we've been in the business for more than 50 years. Our average age is 48. So we have a really great group of like demographic and ages on board. We have more families than any other cruise line. We have more seniors than any other cruise line, and we have more veterans than any other cruise line, which is something we're really, really proud of. You're going to see throughout our ships, there's different venues and meeting spaces that we feature for our veterans and those who have served. So it's a really great time on board. And when it comes to like our ships and what you can expect, we are known as the fun ships, right? So our ships have the fun, and we take fun very seriously. And one of the things I want to kind of get out of the way and kind of attack really quickly, if you will, is when we think of fun, it's really fun for all. And so when you hear me say multi-generational cruises, which I'm going to talk about in just a few seconds, it's about fun for all ages, all backgrounds. We have things that are going to be fun for whether you are with your family, whether you are, I've done singles cruises, with my girlfriends, I have done family cruises, I have done work cruises, I have done solo cruises myself. And so we really want to make sure that what your idea of fun is, that we have something on board for everyone. So we invite our guests to come as they are. We make everyone feel right at home with our comfy staterooms, attentive service, casual and elegant dining, and a variety of bars and a lot of different entertainments, whether it's indoor and out. I really think, in my personal point of view, that's what sets us apart, is the entertainment aspect that you're going to be able to find on board for whatever it is that you want to do, right? So let's take a look at what you can expect on board any Carnival cruise. So we're going back to the multi-generational activities. So if you're going for the first time and you're thinking of going maybe with your kids, or you're thinking of going with your grandkids or family members, right? This is just some of the ideas of what you can expect to do on board, whether you're in our movie theaters. I don't have all the photos here, but we have a lot of outdoor activities on the Lido deck. We have the slides. We have just so many activities that you can take part in, whether you're with the family or not. Over here, you see a couple spending time on our Serenity deck. And so tons of kid pleasers. And these are some of the activities that I mentioned, whether you are in our ropes course, whether you are taking advantage, the kids are taking advantage of Dr. Seuss. But then as we move along, and maybe you are going, whether you're leaving the kids, right, at some of our Camp Ocean, for example, or you're going with an adults cruise and there are no children that are going to be joining you, we have one of my favorite areas on the ship, which is, ooh, Danny, I see that you are already, tell us where you are real quick, actually.
I have already left the VIP suite check-in area and I am now in the brass magnolia. I'm starting out a little light tonight, so I've got a glass of Pinot Noir with me.
Oh, that's
But
my favorite.
soon, very soon, I will be in the Loft 19, what you are showing us right now.
Yes, I'm so happy you mentioned that because when he talks, when he goes to Loft 19, remember that image because I'm going to show you the suites later on that is associated with Loft 19. So right now, right next to Loft 19 is the Serenity deck, which is this is for adults 21 and over. So as you can see, this is just a small section. It actually wraps around the ship from one side to the other. So like if it's forward, it goes from left to right. And it's really what you're seeing here, day beds and different hammocks. It's one of my favorite places, depending on the ship. There's hot tubs. There's also salad bar, where you can have, obviously a salad or drinks. So there is, it's just a really great time. I love to come here for either sunsets or sunrises. Sunrises tend to be my favorite. But again, if you're going and it's a couples cruise, bachelorette, it's just kind of getaway. You're just adults. This is one of my favorite spots to be on board. And then moving on to entertainment, because I talked about our entertainment. Oh, somebody's here. Let's let them in. And I talked about entertainment, and I can't go over all of the different entertainments that we have on board that are within the cruise fare. So that's one of the biggest things is the value, ladies and gentlemen, that you are going to get with the cost of the cruise fare. None of this is in addition. Punchline or Comedy Club, one of my favorite areas to go for nighttime entertainment. And just an FYI, we do have a PG-13. We have our traditional one, which is anywhere between 8, 9 o'clock. And then we have our very adult option, which is a rated R, which is usually at 11 o'clock, so late at night. So as you can see, we start around 5:45 all the way up until 11. Several comedians on board. It can be anywhere between 2 to 4 different comedians, which is one of the things I really appreciate, the fact that there's so much variety. And so Punchline or Comedy Club, don't forget that. And then, of course, our playlist productions. And this is also one of my favorite things to do on board. We are shortly going to see our Excel class ships, which is where Danny happens to be on board the Mardi Gras. Our playlist productions on the Excel class ships have these aerial performances, which you're seeing here. But all of our ships feature playlist productions, and we change the productions. And one thing I'll say before moving on that I'm really proud of, and I think a lot of people don't know, is that the performers that we have on our playlist productions, they have all studied this thoroughly. This is their passion, their art, right? They have gone to performance schools. So this is what they do. This is like going to a Broadway show. This is like going to a Vegas style show, and it never disappoints. And we have usually depending on the length of the cruise, there can be anywhere between 3 to 4 different productions or plays that are had. So there's always a variety. Again, all about variety. And then since we're on the topic, right, like of entertainment, we're moving right along to food. And so I wanted to feature just a couple of my favorite restaurants on board. And it's really like nothing that you have experienced if you haven't been on Carnival in quite some time. So maybe you're one of those that maybe hasn't been in Carnival in just a couple of years. When I tell you that, our ships have really just kind of been, I say game changers, but they really have just been brought up to this level of just distinction. And just like when you get on board, it's just very like just airy. The restaurants just have this nuance to them, and they're just so incredible. Like the food is so great. And this is one of my favorites. It's called Bonsai Teppanyaki. So yeah, so it's like a Benihana on the sea, but it's so much better because I always say that the chefs or the cooks that we have in the Bonsai Teppanyaki should be taking place or working for Playlist Productions because they do a whole production on their own. Moving along to Fahrenheit 555. This is a little bit more, not as fun, I would say, as Bonsai Teppanyaki, a little bit more reserved. This is where you can get a really elegant 4-course meal, a lot of aged meats. And this is actually only at $42 per person. So I want to throw that in there because the quality of steaks that you get here, whether you're getting lamb or the cowboy ribeye, these are amazing cuts of meats. And like I said, it's 4 courses. So this is definitely more for that elegant night that you want to celebrate something or you really just want to take it up a notch on your cruise experience. So moving along, I mentioned the game changers, and that is the Excel class ships. So ladies and gentlemen, we have 3. Notice the emphasis. You'll understand later. So we have 3 Excel class ships. Oh, let me let Gary in. Danny happens to be on the Mardi Gras, which is a ship that leaves out of Port Canaveral. So I want to show you all 3 ships. When I say they are the game changers, they are. These ships have Bolt, which is the ultimate roller coaster. Now, Bolt has the ability to go up to 40 miles per hour, right? 187 feet high and 800 total feet of roller coaster. So this is really fun. It's only available on those 3 ships that I'm going to go over. And not to mention the ultimate playground, right? And when we think of ultimate playground, this is not just for children, ladies and gentlemen. We have the golf, we have billiards, as you can see, multiple slides. We have the ropes course. There's so many activities that you can do, the life-size chess. There's just so many different activities that you can do on board. So it's really one of those things that you go there and the kid in you will come out. So I really like to spend, at least I go one of the days I go up here and I spend some time just usually after the sun has settled a little bit, because we know how hot it gets on Lido Deck. But let's move along. So Mardi Gras, which is where Danny's at, right? So the Carnival Mardi Gras is sailing out of Port Canaveral. What's really special about these 3 ships is that first and foremost, they're our largest ships in the fleet at the moment. We've announced 2 more that are going to be set for 2027 and 2028. So we are continuing with this fleet. As I mentioned, it is a game changer. But what I love about it, and that is where Danny is in the Brass Magnolia, right? The French Quarter area. So
Drinking my Pinot Noir right here. The brass Magnolia.
I know. And what's really special about these 3 ships, and for those of you that maybe have not had the opportunity to go on board one of the Excel class, is when you come in, ladies and gentlemen, you're coming in for these ships, there's no atrium. So we've changed it completely. You're walking into that Grand Central, which is that picture on the left. You're coming into 3 floors of this Grand Central, which is where some of our aerial performances that I mentioned take place. And you walk in and there's just like this, it's just humongous because you're walking into 3 floors. So you're no longer walking into like beautiful atrium area, but this is just expanded above and beyond. And so our Excel class ships are going to have all 6 zones. But what's going to change is the mood and the ship. So for the Mardi Gras, it's all after like Louisiana. So we're thinking New Orleans, right? We're thinking the French Quarter. And so that's where you're going to come in. And when you go into the French Quarter, you're really going to feel like you're walking into, like you're going into New Orleans. For those of you who have been, we have the trumpets, we have different events that are taking place. And so this ship is incredible. I see the chat, something's in the chat. So if you want to take a look at the chat, Danny.
I'm good. Yep. Just me doing a welcome to everybody that's coming in.
But what's going to remain on all of the 3 ships is going to be the Grand Central area, which is on the left, Summer Landing, which is on the bottom left. And this is at the back of the ship on deck 8. It's where you can actually go much more relaxed vibes. Moving on to the Lido Deck, it's an expanded Lido Deck, ladies and gentlemen, on all 3 ships, really focusing on the larger pool area. And then as you saw earlier, as I showed you the picture of the ultimate playground. So these are the 6 zones on board the Carnival Mardi Gras. Moving along to, I say my baby because she's in Miami and I'm actually in Miami. And this is the Carnival Celebration. Carnival Celebration is themed after Carnival's 50 years, right? And so what's different about the celebration is that we have an area called the Gateway. So that feels like you're walking through time. So that's why it's called the Gateway. We have memorabilia from the last 50 years from some of our ships that are even no longer even in service. And as you can see, the right, towards the right, the far right, 820 Biscayne. This is an area that is basically 820 Biscayne. It's Carnival's first address 52 years ago in Miami, which was in 820 Biscayne. And it's going to have a whole bunch of like Miami kind of eateries. So you can see like Cuban sandwiches, empanadas. It's really incredible. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, there's like 4 venues in there, restaurant venues, all included as well with the cost of your cruise. So we are just touching the tip of the iceberg this evening when we're going over the restaurants, because if I were to go over, and Danny knows this, if I were to go over all the restaurants, we would have to make this a 2-hour kind of presentation, right? And last but not least, our most current ship, or our newest ship from the Excel class, is the Carnival Jubilee, which, as you can see from the picture, she has a big old Texas star. So she's leaving out of Galveston, Texas. And what's different for her is all 4 zones are the same: Celebration Central, Summer Landing, Lido, and Ultimate Playground. But this one is themed after the water. So there's going to be areas on the ship, which is called the currents, where you're going to feel like you may be underwater in a very not scary way. I actually had the opportunity. I know I was on her in February, and I was like, I wish I could show you the videos, but I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then the shores, which
I love
really
that
takes,
description in a non-harmful way.
it's not scary at
That
all.
is
You're actually,
awesome.
it's very interactive, so it's very fun actually. And then the shores, which is like you're walking across a boardwalk, so a lot of the areas, as you can see that picture on the right, very airy, very modern. So I just absolutely love all 3 of these ships, and I'm excited to see the next 2 ships that we already have in store, as I mentioned, for 2027 and 2028. But these are the Excel class ships. So these are just some of the images. So this is in the Jubilee, the Marina Bar. Again, we're sticking with the water theme. And this is the shore staircase, which in person, ladies and gentlemen, is so much more even beautiful. I had to actually go see her because I had seen this image for a couple months, and I was so excited to go on the Jubilee and just following that theme. Now, one restaurant that is in all of these ships, right, all the Excel class, is Emerald's Bistro 717. And here you can expect to get your beignets, shrimp and grits, and all those like Nola, right? All those kind of Louisiana kind of food items or dishes that you would expect if you were to go to Louisiana. And we have them on all 3 ships. And this is where Danny is right now, the French Quarter, which in person, when you see this in person, when you book your cruise on board the Carnival Mardi Gras, right? You're just going to be struck, because it really is one of those things that you just have to look around because it's so beautiful. And then Carnival Kitchen, I wanted to add that because we talk about being able to do multi-generational activities, but this is Carnival Kitchens. You can do with a couple. You can do, if you always wanted to take a cooking class, you can do that at Carnival Kitchen. I've actually done it, and I did the barbecue class, but we have pasta, we have gelato, we have sushi classes, and this is available on all 3 ships as well. And now, since we talked a little bit about what you can expect on board, I really want to get into the staterooms, because I think that's such an important part of your vacation as well. And as a company, we have the largest, just simple interior cabin. So the very basic interior king size room, we have the largest at 185 square feet, which is really big in the cruise industry, right? And so let's get started with four particular cabin categories, I guess, that I wanted to go over with you. And the first one is our Cloud 9 accommodations. It's called Cloud 9. These are our spa cabins, and all of these cabins are going to be available, whether it's an interior cabin, which has no window, an ocean view cabin, which has a window, and a balcony or suite. So you can book them on any of these kind of cabin categories. Right here, you're seeing a balcony. Now, aside from the decoration, which is beautiful, blue, relaxing, you're definitely here to just enjoy your time, and maybe you're celebrating an anniversary or a couple's vacation. And what it gives you access to is our Cloud 9 spa, which is not our regular spa. This spa has a thermal suites. So sauna, aromatherapy room, relaxation room, infrared room, salt rooms. Depending on the ship, you're going to have several, at least 4 of these, right? It does change, but you get Elemis spa products. You get access to all of the thermal suites. I'll show you a picture. This is actually an image of the thalassotherapy pool, but I'll show you an image. This is one of our thermal suites. This one, if I'm not mistaken, is the aromatherapy room. So this room is incredible. Moving along to our family harbor. Definitely for the families, if you're going in multi-generational cruises with the grandkids, with the kids, you know, cousins, nieces, nephews, you have it. I definitely recommend a family harbor accommodation. As you can see, very nautical, still good for the adults. It doesn't feel like you're in a kid's room whatsoever, but it gives you really great amenity. And that is the family harbor lounge, rather. As you can see, and this lounge is in the same deck as where all of the family harbor rooms are. Again, interior ocean view balcony or suite. And the great thing is that you get access to this lounge. The kids can go in there in the meantime. If you're getting dressed, there's breakfast that's served here. You do not have to go all the way up to Lido deck, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I should say, are served here. And there's different games that you can play. We even have video games. There's usually about 4 different stations that kids can play. So there's a lot of room for them to be able to go there and enjoy some time. And then you get free dinner at one of the specialty restaurants, and you get free nighttime babysitting, right? Which is from 10 p.m. till 1 a.m. So just additional goodies for you guys. And the only way to access this is with your sail and sign card. So you have to be booked in one of these rooms. And then here's another image of what the ocean view will look like. So just a beautiful room all around. And then we have our Havana accommodations. So if you take a look at this picture, right? Hopefully you guys are taking a look. This looks a little bit different. It looks like we are in the Caribbean somewhere, maybe in a resort. There's a hammock out there. The room looks totally different, the decorations. And then if you move along, the amenity, right, that comes with this gorgeous cabin, again, interior ocean view balcony or suite, is that you have this beautiful lanai area. And only members that are staying, or guests, I should say, that are staying in these cabins have access to this area, the Havana accommodations. You have the Havana bar right there. You have a bar that you can order from, different seating areas. You're only seeing one area here, but there's hot tubs, there's pool. And it really is just about maybe having a little separate area, right? Where you don't have to be on the Lido deck and you just want to have a little bit more intimacy as far as all the guests that are around you. A really quick note I want to mention is that you have to be if you're going to travel with kids in any of these rooms, they have to be at least 12 years old. So you can see what I'm saying when I say we want to make sure that whatever your cruise is for, that we have an area that fits that description. So these are great for guests that maybe don't want to be around very young children on the Lido deck. You have this amazing area here, a little bit more relaxed. And I've actually been able to cruise on the Havana accommodation, and I absolutely love this area. So I highly recommend it for that kind of vacation. And then this is another, this is the ocean view, but this is an extended window that we have. So some of them go from floor to ceiling, but this is also Havana accommodation. So we have them in balconies, interior, ocean view. And then finally, only in the Excel class ships. So all three of those Excel class ships, will you see the Excel suites. This right here is an Excel presidential suite. This one is a little bit over 1,100 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. Just look at the balcony space on this, right? You have your own hot tub, day bed, lounges, dining area, and then inside there's two rooms. One is a living room space with TVs, and the other is the actual bedroom, right? So let me give you some specs. So 1,120 square feet for the presidential suite, but we also have 12 corner suites that are 710 square feet, 12 Excel aft suites, they're just kind of more in the corner, which are 861 square feet, which is pictured below. And then we have 6 Carnival Excel suites, which are 615 total square feet. And the reason why we've kind of added is because you guys are asking for more space, you know, these additional amenities, whether it's specialty cabins or more amenities with the Excel suites or with any of our suites. So what are some of the amenities that you can expect? And I think Danny's going to go to Loft 19, but one of those is Loft 19. This is an exclusive
before
area.
I go to Loft 19, I am actually on my virtual cruise tonight in an Excel aft suite. You have to go in this. This is amazing.
I love it. I love it. You just need to take that drink and go back in the day bed and just kind of sip.
I will, but then after that, I'm going to go someplace else and probably over to Loft 19.
Awesome. So Loft 19. And so, ladies and gentlemen, right there as he's going to Loft 19, I just want to show you, these are, or you guys can see for yourself, but with any of the suites that you stay in, you have a dedicated concierge line, guaranteed main dining, reservations to any of the specialty dining restaurants. You do get a beautiful arrangement. It's a sparkling fruit and wine basket when you come in. Bottomless bubbles package is included. Complimentary on-demand movies, laundry service, which I had the opportunity to go on one suite. It wasn't an Excel suite, but it was in a suite. And I can't tell you enough how much I appreciated the laundry service. The wash and fold was incredible. We have the priority check-in and debarkation at all ports, as well as if you had to tender somewhere, the water, the bathrobes. But more importantly, you have, at least for me, because I'm a spa girl, you have access to all of the thermal suites as if you were staying in a spa cabin. And you have access to the Havana Lanai area, which would be the same as if you were staying in a Havana accommodation. So talk about getting all those goodies in addition to Loft 19, where Danny's going to show you, I don't know when. There he goes.
I'm here. I've made it from the Excel to Loft 19. where I'm going to be for the sail away tonight. I'm not going to go to the big party on the
Oh,
pool
you're
deck
not gonna go to the
tonight,
big
but I'm going to be chilling up here tonight at Loft 19 for our
I
sail away
love
from Port Canaveral.
I love it. And thank you for sharing that picture. And I know that you guys can't see, and I don't have a photo to show you, but Loft 19 is so first and foremost, Serenity deck is usually at the very top of the ship. It's so if the ship is 16 decks, it's on deck 16. But Loft 19 is at the very top. So it's the last one. And there's cabanas everywhere. I think you can see a cabana right there where Danny is. And this is only for our suite members. So when we're talking about even more kind of more intimate, more like a personal space. You don't necessarily, you want to have some fun and maybe go to Lido Deck at some point, but for the remainder of your cruise, you want that privacy. Definitely one of the perks of being with Loft 19, and you should see the pool that we have there. It's beautiful. But yes, Loft 19. So I think actually before we go there, because I actually gave it away, but that is what you can expect in our Excel suites and on board all of our Excel class ships. Celebration, Mardi Gras, and which one is the other one? Jubilee, ladies and gentlemen, which is coming out of Galveston, Texas. So Danny, before we finish, are we gonna let them know? Do we want to look at the chat before we go into our fun part at the end of this?
Yes. Well, Dean has asked about the beverage packages. And
Talk to
just talking about the beverage packages, I'm sure the adult packages and maybe the bubbles package, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, so we have, that's a great question. So I have to see, let me see if I can see his exact question, but are you going to talk about the beverage packages? Okay. Well, I could definitely talk a little bit about it. So we have two packages, right? The first one is the bottomless bubbles, which is available for mainly your sodas and your like sparkling waters and whatnot. So anything bubbles related. And then we have our alcohol packages, and that gives you 15 drinks per day. It's a really great benefit. I tried it once, and the reason I was going to say I'm not I'm not the perfect client for it, just because I never got finished with the 15 drinks.
Right.
I never finished with the 15 drinks, but I will say this, there's a really great benefit that comes with it. And that is that aside from the 15 alcoholic drinks, I am a coffee drinker. And so we have the Java Chip Cafe. And so all of your espressos, any frozen drinks, frappes, including alcoholic ones, are available. Any of your like milkshakes are available. And not included within the 15 drinks. If you want to get a Red Bull, any of those things, any of those kind of drinks. I did protein shakes actually, because I do protein shakes. And those are not included within your 15. So there's definitely ways that you can get the most value out of it for sure. And another thing that I do recommend that you guys look into, if that's something you're interested in, because it is for every adult in the room, is that when you're speaking to your travel partner, and, Danny has an amazing team. When you're speaking to your travel advisor is, maybe setting up the room sometimes, if it's a couple of you cruising, right? If you're going with like a family, setting up the cabins would definitely help when it comes to the bubbles, the drink package, just because if you have 4 adults in the room, for example, every adult does have to purchase the drinks package. So sometimes that can be the part, because you may have 2 adults that are not interested, but if they're 21 and over, all of them, if one gets it, all of them have to. So that's where placement can sometimes be beneficial, because if you have more than one cabin, maybe you can place the adults in a way that it would make sense. So that's just an insider tip. Talk to your advisor, and I'm sure that they'll be able to help you. And then the last tip is, if you book it in advance.
That is a fantastic tip, because we just did that today with someone that
you
did not want that did not want the alcohol package, but some of them did. So we had to move their rooms around, which is very easy on our end to do. And then they could purchase the beverage package, the bubbles package or the alcohol package. So yes,
I knew it.
that's
See,
a good
and that's
point.
why I said what I said, because I know your team is amazing and that they would be able to do that. The last thing I will say about the drinks package is that if you're definitely interested, the faster you book it, the better, because you can add it to your reservation and you do get a 10% discount of the total price, versus if you do it on board, you won't get that discount. So, I would highly recommend that you definitely take advantage of it. If you're going to do it, go ahead and add it on early, which is what I did when I added it. This was like 2 years ago that I added it. So that's what I would do. Is there another question? Can you consider
There's not right now, no.
Okay. It was about the non-alcoholic drinkers.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So So I guess we can move along to, the last part of this, and very much the very fun part. So we're gonna ask you guys to use the chat feature, right? Because I have 3 giveaways, and there are gonna be some Carnival merch, right? That for the winners, because there will be 3. Hopefully, we have 3 people that can answer correctly. So hopefully, you guys.
Hopefully, I can.
I did bring emphasis to like 3 things that I mentioned. So hopefully you guys caught on to it. But for those of you that answer, the first person to answer in the chat for each question will be the winner. And then you can give Danny the details, and I'll be more than happy to send you the prizes. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Well, go to the next slide. All right, so trivia time. I don't have a drum roll, but trivia time. Okay. First question. All right, let's see. What is the maximum speed or miles per hour that boat, right, the ultimate roller coaster, can climb? Oh, well, that was quick. Damn, Debbie just answered so fast. Okay, so we got to write this down. Do you want me to write this down? I don't want to forget the winner. So
Debbie Moss, you have to email me at danny@cruisenationwide.com.
Yay, Debbie. So Debbie's our first winner. I'm so glad. Wow, you guys are really paying attention. I thought that was going to be a trick question and somebody was going to say 185 feet. All right, so the next one is, okay, let's see if this wants to cooperate. There we go. How many Excel class ships are there?
I want to answer,
3.
but I can't.
3. So that was, Debbie was quick to, like, Debbie's on it, but Tracy Williams won this one. So congratulations. Congratulations.
Tracy,
Yes.
Tracy, will you please, and Debbie, please email me, danny@cruisenationwide.com.
Awesome.
All
So
your detail, your mailing address is what we need. Is that right?
Yes, mailing address, so I can send over the Carnival merch for you,
Oh,
ladies.
yes, or you can text me 770-729-1092 is my text number.
All right, so the last one, and this is also, by the way, I was really nice today. So we're gonna have, and we'll talk about that right before we end, but we're gonna have some subsequent presentations, focus, they're a little bit more focused. Please repeat, Danny. Tracy wants you to repeat, I guess, the email or the phone number.
I'll do both. 770-729-1092 is my text number. That is probably the easiest.
There we go. And so I will warn you, if you guys are here next for the next one, which I hope you all are, I'm going to make my questions a little bit more sneaky. So here goes the last one, because you guys are really good, which I love, which means that you guys are listening to me. That's what I want, right? All right. So Bistro 717 is the restaurant of what famous chef? This is very easy. Emerald. Okay,
yes.
But Debbie won already, so we have to give it to Angela because Angela's the next one. Since Debbie won, does that sound fair?
Yes, but if not, Debbie, since Debbie, right? You've answered the question so fast. You're awesome. For your next Carnival cruise, actually, you know what? Everybody that is on here right now, if you book a 7-night or longer on Carnival, I'm just throwing this out there. Brisma is probably going to choke me after we get off this.
God, I wasn't prepared. Let's see.
She is going to choke me. So if you book a 7-night or longer on any Carnival Mardi Gras, Celebration, or Jubilee in a balcony or above, I will add $50 onboard credit to your stateroom. How's that?
Ooh, let's get it. Let's get it. Okay. But you know what, Debbie? I'm going to give you an extra goodie bag. I'm going to make it a bigger goodie bag because you answered twice. Okay. All right. So we have Debbie, Tracy, and I believe, let me go back.
You said Angela.
Angela. So Angela, if you got the phone number, well, maybe Danny wants to give it one more time since you had not won yet.
Absolutely. My direct text number for work is 770-729-1092.
Oh, look. So, oh my God. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Shaylien said, oh, she put like the crying emoji because she already booked on the horizon and she's already booked. So it's after the fact. So she's like, no.
But for
What if
your
I
next
already have
one, if you book with us on a 7-night or longer on one of the new ships, Mardi Gras Jubilee or Celebration, I will give you the $50 onboard credit for those balcony rooms or
Come,
above as
come
well. You
on,
have to book
ladies and
through us
gentlemen.
though.
We got this. We got this. Okay. This was a lot of fun. Next time, I'm definitely imagine if this is why I have to be careful because I already had so much fun without any alcohol, without any drinks, just with water. Can you guys imagine?
Right.
Okay.
See, we can
All right.
have fun without, we can do non-alcoholic. Absolutely, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It's all about just like being in the moment, right?
That's
And you guys
right.
are giving great vibes. I appreciate that you guys first are so active on the chat. So much fun. So we look forward to welcoming you on board. And whether it's on one of our Excel class ships or like the beautiful Horizon, which you're gonna have an amazing time. The Horizon is absolutely gorgeous as well. I want to thank each and every single one of you. I am gonna give it back to Danny, of course, but I want to thank Danny and his team and everyone for all the support. As you can see, for those of you that are contemplating taking advantage of our deal, we have the phone number that you can call as well, which is right here, 800-537-4774. And Danny, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm serious. This is not I don't know how to say it. This is not even a sales thing or anything, but this was so much fun tonight. It really was. I think we're going to make certain people at Carnival that host a different type of presentation a little bit jealous tonight, and I cannot wait to tell a few of them, including your boss. So
he
thank
is
you.
just surprising me tonight with a couple of things, but I
Yes,
love it.
this is awesome. I'm just great. I am always learning from Brisma and her team at Carnival. My team is, and in fact, Sandy Paris is she's now in the chat board. So say hello, Sandy. She is one of our team members here at Nationwide Cruises. I hope she's still on here, and she is. So all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. We love Carnival. We love our I just don't even know what to say everything right now. You've just been so great about
No,
tonight.
but
So
we'll have
thank you,
more. We'll
Prisma.
have more. And Danny and I know I said I was gonna mention it, but we're gonna have some really kind of tailored content because there's a lot happening, whether it's in the Port Canaveral area and just some new things that we have. And this was our first one, like Danny mentioned, in a while. And we're so happy that we're gonna continue doing this for you guys. And thank you for spending this evening with us. It's Friday Eve. So thank you for spending Friday Eve with us.
That's right. Thank you so much, guys. And please join our Facebook page over at Nationwide Cruises, where we will be bringing you more content like this and telling you all about Carnival. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. And don't forget to text me all the winners so I can get the information to Brisbane. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone. Bye.